Everyone, Joan Scannell here with your energy forecast for July 2024. The over-under basically for the month is short and sweet. It's not going to be bad, but it's not going to be super great either. It's going to be really kind of a continuation of what we've been dealing with for the last several months. And it's a little frustrating because you would think with the energy of the 6, because that's the energy of the month, if you take the 7 of July, you add it to the 8 of the year, you get 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. With the energy of the 6 in numerology, you have things more like connection, harmony, balance, nurturing, generosity, support, compassion, loyalty, all those really kind of feel-good kind of energies. And I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but I think it's going to be very programmed into certain areas. For instance, I think finances are going to be an area of focus for us where we're going to have to pull in that type of energy. I think health, whether it's our health or the health of people around us that are in need of support, we'll have to pull in that kind of energy. I think general stability will be an area where we're going to have to kind of pull in that energy for and to create all those wonderful aspects of the 6 that I mentioned before. I do think that those will be our areas of focus. I do think overall it's going to be fine, but it's just a little bit of a pain in the ass, for lack of a better word. And I'll say it starts with our favor being the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles right here is a card of, like I said, generosity. But it's not that we're necessarily feeling overly generous, because our focus is going to be on the economy. Our focus is going to be on our personal finances and our collective finances. I do think there is an understanding coming, like a little bit of a come to Jesus, that things need to be adjusted, things need to be fixed, especially as it deals with our financial status as a country in the world. I think it may be some evaluation of our own personal finances. Where are we perhaps hemorrhaging money? Where can we cut expenses? Where will we maintain certain things, because we do believe that these are important quality investments in our life that we need to continue on with. There may be subscriptions that we decide we want to cut, but there may be subscriptions that we decide we want to keep for the reasons I mentioned before. I do think there's going to be kind of opportunities presented to us, I think globally or domestically, for some of our financial issues that are going on. I'd say look very carefully on them. Shine a spotlight on them. Look at the truth. See if there's some illusion, if it's not really a solution, and don't necessarily fall for it. I think we're a little bit awake, again, with our personal finances and our collective situation, so I think that's the case. In terms of health, I think people are taking better care of their health and creating more stability. So that's what this card is about. On the world stage, I do think there will be, as I said, new programs coming forward, things that we're supposed to be working on or trying ways to improve our finances as a country. But I do feel this is a little bit of a building the airplane as we go kind of situation. What can we do? That's what I'm always about. What we can do? Well, we support each other in any way that we can. We offer advice to each other. We maybe hire a local handyman instead of going to the big box store to get somebody to help us. We, buy local. We, support, just everything local that we can and support the people around us. This is basically a month about trying to be generous in a healthy way, trying to be kind to each other in a supportive way, and basically being steady regardless of what's going on around us. In our challenge area, we have the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is it's not a bad card, but in the challenge, it's suggesting that I think we have some truth bombs that are being dumped on us, and we're turning our back on them. It's not because we're ignoring these truth bombs. It's because we're choosing not to get overwhelmed with these. Again, this will be economic. This will be with our personal issues. It may be completely changing a way that we approach things, that we do things, that we look to life in general. With the Six of Swords, I do think that there's a realization of the limits that are around us and a decision to do something about it. I do think we're trying to, stop trying to plug holes in our life. Stop trying to fix little problems and go for bigger issues. In terms of the world stage, I think this is a continuation of the fighting we've seen, the bickering we've seen. There are attempts for peace accords, but I think they're going to be unsuccessful. I also think that we're going to see the departure of one or two world leaders, either because of health issues or because they have chosen to leave the political arena. And I would think that would be by the end of July that we'd be getting information on that. Our Six of Wands is our lesson or our theme. This is definitely about solution-oriented. He's riding in on the white horse and he's coming in for, victory. And that's where we have to look at things. What is the victory we're trying to create? What is the vision we want to develop in our lives? How can we be wise and confident and competent and not overwhelmed? And again, I've used this analogy before. We can't run around like Chicken Little screaming the sky is falling. That does nothing. Instead, we have to look at what is it we want to create. Actually visualize it. See it in our mind. Charge forward in a healthy way toward the stability. I recently joined, probably in the last 2 months maybe, I joined a gym. And it's not your typical gym. It's one of those... I forget what they call it, but it's where they have classes and you have they really bust your ass in it, And the motto of the gym is 1% every time. 1% every time, meaning you get better by 1% every time. And that's, I think, what this is saying. Yes, we eventually want to get to that point of success, but we do it 1% each time. So if we wake up each day to take care of one particular solution, one particular challenge, we go 1% a day, we can get rid of what's not working for us and focus on what is working for us. So examples might be, again, I said the areas, finances. We might decide personally to cut back on things. We might get a part-time job somewhere. We might consult with an advisor for plans that we have in the future or to clean up maybe a situation that we're in right now. For our health, eating better, joining a gym. And it doesn't have to be like a big, huge commitment. It can be a small commitment. Remember, 1%. It could be just moving. Going on YouTube and listening to people with health tips, what they suggest. In terms of our career, if we're not happy with our career right now, well, how can we either change it or compartmentalize it? By compartmentalize it, I mean, okay, between 9 and 5 or whenever it is, you have to deal with that. But once you leave that job, you leave it behind and you don't deal with it. You don't let that become a whole part of your life. Relationships. I think by putting forward kindness and compassion and emotional generosity and being supportive, I think that's a big area that we can improve. And finally, our overall morale. I think there's a little bit of funk going on. How can we get rid of the funk? Why don't we connect with our interests, connect with our neighbor, volunteer somewhere, help somebody, take a walk in nature. There's so many things we can do to visualize a better situation, a better concept for us. And our state of mind actually is a nice one. It is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is, again, back to all those things I mentioned before. It's connection, it's nurturing, it's helping, it's supporting. It's definitely a reconnection with your past, with the people of your past, with your tribe. It is a willingness to help others that are new to you, but it's getting back to your roots. It's feeling fulfilled. And again, we have financial problems going around us collectively and personally. There's a lot of stress. Just go to the grocery store. Many of us have career issues where there's some stress. Health issues seem to be cropping up for people. Again, general stability seems to be a bit shaky. That's not going to change. What is going to change is us, the way we approach it, the way we handle it, the way we support each other, the way we receive support, and the way that we give support to each other. If you're feeling disconnected from people, join groups that have common interests, maybe hiking, or like I said, a gym, people like to work out, or art, or volunteer at an animal shelter, anything that might be something of interest to you. Basically, this is all about support, relationships, bonding with others, and feeling the connection of the things that really matter regardless of what's going on around us. And if we look at our major arcanas, this I think is a very telling combination, and I've shown these cards before. These two cards are almost the same card. This is the 6 card. This is the Lovers. This is beyond just love and, an intimate partnership. This is a card of harmony, balance, acceptance, connection, support, wisdom, patience, all the wonderful nuances that make life so peaceful and so important and so meaningful. Self-love, respect, all those things. And then we have the Devil. And mind you, this is number 6. The Devil, which I'm about to show you, is number 15. Now remember, I said July actually adds up to 15, which we reduced to 6. Now before I get to that card, the warning is that doesn't have to be our state of mind. You'll see these cards are almost the same thing, except look at this one. This one here, you have the same people, and instead of looking to the angel, they're looking to the devil, and they're chained. They're caught by their trappings, by their fears, and they're saying this is a card of vice. It's fear, it's self-sabotage, it's addiction, it's lack of forgiveness, it's limitations, it's projection, it's negativity, it's all of those things. Which do you want to focus on? That's what this card is saying. And honestly, that's what our state of mind for the month is saying as well. This card and this card together. Don't pull in the negativity of the fear, and that's it's palpable around us. Don't do that. Instead, acknowledge that I call it fuckery. There's fuckery around us. There's a mess around us. Acknowledge it. But you know what? That isn't going to define us. That isn't going to be us. Instead, it's going to be about connection. It's going to be about helping others. It's about solutions. And that's exactly what the energy of the 6 is. The 6 is moving forward harmoniously amid the chaos, amid the strife, amid the challenges, so that regardless of what happens around us, we can still shift the energy of it personally and collectively by the way we choose to respond. So that's it. That's your message for July 2024. If you like what you heard, please visit me. I'm at www.joanscannell.com. I can also be reached via email, which I will have in my comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.